Recording in progress.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Doc Talk for this evening. Tonight, we have Dr. Jeff joining us, and I'm thrilled at this experience that we're going to have with him tonight because he is an expert in the world of weight loss. Dr. Jeff owns a regenerative medicine practice and med spa in Florida, and he's also a board certified orthopedic surgeon. He's considered an expert in the field of regenerative medicine and has studied extensively in the last 5 years in the areas of aesthetics, sexual health, weight loss, and anti-aging. He is very proud to be bringing this life-changing technology and activation into his practice, as well as his network of people, family, friends, probably anybody that you can get your hands on these products. And I just really want to welcome you. My name is Kim Kubensky. I'm an executive consultant too with LifeVantage. I've been with LifeVantage for over 8 years and have had an incredible health transformation story myself. These products have given me my life back. I'm also a Club 55 participant and was able to get on the products early, and can't say enough how much of a blessing it actually has been for my life. I have lost in 7 weeks 15 pounds, 4 inches off my waist alone. And I guess the other piece of this is the emotional, mental, and just the physical benefits that I've been reaping the rewards of. I feel absolutely incredible. So I'm so excited to be able to share this and bring Dr. Jeff on. Thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, thank you so much, Kim. Yeah, it's my pleasure to be here. You know, I'm a newbie to this. Well, to LifeVantage at least, not to network marketing. And I almost didn't make it here, to be honest with you. I was approached by Lindy Ritzu, and she met me at a Chamber of Commerce meeting and didn't tell me what it was. Just said, "Hey, can I stop by your office? I have something that I want you to see." And it's like, "Yeah, all right, stop by." So she got past Jennifer, who's my wife and my office manager, and got back to my office. And she started in, put some stuff down on the desk, and I said, "This is multi-level marketing, isn't it?" And she said, "Yeah, it is." And it's like, "Yeah, no, not doing it." And she said, "Well, would you at least listen to me?" And it's like, "All right, leave your stuff. I'll look over it." I had done Monavie back in 2008, 2010, 2012, and did well. Was a 6-figure earner. After I left Monavie, I went to ViSalus. I saw what happened with Body by Vi, where teams were putting in 1,000 people a day, and it's a lot of work. I mean, it's a lot of work, and because I'm a physician, I'm always asked to speak, and so I know what kind of time constraint that puts on me. And so, you know, I looked over her stuff, and it looked interesting. The Protandim looked interesting. The data on the liquid collagen looked interesting. And she came back a week later, and she said, "So what do you think?" And I said, "Yeah, you know, typically it would be a no, but it's going to be a hell no, because I just don't want to do this." I said, "You know, I'm 62 and I just don't want to jump into another one again." And she said, "Well, give me 1 minute. Let me get somebody on the phone, do a 3-way call with somebody." And it's like, "Yeah, all right. I've been down this road before." And she gets me on a call with Tara Wilson. And Tara and I worked together in Monavie. We worked together in ViSalus. It was 4 days before the Saturday announcement that this product was coming out. Tara knew it was coming. And Tara said she had to make a decision. She either had to lose me or sign me up. And she knew that it had depended on whether she violated her NDA or not. And she violated her NDA. And she said, "We have a weight loss product coming out. It's going to get announced on Saturday." And I said, "All right, where do I sign up?" And that was it. I knew what this was going to be. As soon as I heard weight loss, you know, I know ViSalus went from $320 million to $1 billion company in 4 years. So I knew what weight loss would do. And she didn't tell me much about it. She just said it was weight loss. I waited until the following Saturday. I waited 4 days to go to a watch party and found out what it was. And I've been in ever since. I signed up a couple days before the watch party, and I'm here now. And so it looks like I'm going to rank advance to an EC1 in, I guess, about 6 weeks, total of 6 to 7 weeks in the company. So we've been promoting it to a lot of people. So let me get started. Let me pull up my PowerPoint here. You guys, somebody needs to enable.
I will make you a co-host.
Screen share. There we go.
Should be able to share now.
That looks like your screen. Is it? No, it's
Did
not.
you? I did make you
No,
a
it's fine.
co-host. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Let's see it. Let me go here. Now let's try this. There it is.
Awesome.
All right. Let me pull it up to a full screen. And
Under slideshow in the middle.
I say it. Just doesn't want. There it goes.
Perfect. Okay,
All right. So, as I said, I'm new to LifeVantage, but I've had a baptism by fire. Rachel and Tara had me doing overviews about 3 weeks into the company. So built a pretty good team so far. So I'm excited that I'm here. We always have to start with our disclosures. Since we are talking about a supplement, we have to understand that these products do not cure, treat, or mitigate any diseases. If we do talk about money, money is dependent on the amount of work you put in, and it's different for everybody that's in the company. This is me listed as senior consultant, but it looks like the end of the month I'm going to get moved up. Board certified orthopedic surgery. I've been practicing for about 50 years now, or about 30 years now. I specialize now in anti-aging medicine. I own a regenerative medicine med spa here in Ocala, Florida. I've always been interested in the way that supplements can integrate with regular medicine. I think it's sad that our healthcare system is broken. Our healthcare system is not a healthcare system. It is a sick care system. If you're sick, you get a medication to take care of the symptoms, but nobody ever looks for the root cause. And nobody is interested in healing you from whatever the root cause is. Doctors just for the most part want to give you a pill to mask your symptoms. So I have always been more proactive. I always loved talking to my patients about supplements. And I think they're important. And, our company is the activation company. Got to take it to make it. And we have a whole line of supplements that work on the activation platform. And I'm so excited that we have just last weekend added the new GLP-1 activator, MindBody. I think it's going to be amazing. My wife and I started ours on Monday morning. We're already noticing a change. So I think it's going to be absolutely wonderful. Here's where it all started. ABC Primetime, Protandim NRF2. I feel that, and the reason that I have a couple slides in here about some of our other products is I feel the combination of Protandim NRF2 and the new MindBody GLP-1 is important. I think that if we do not downregulate our oxidative stress first, then we're going to have a hard time losing weight. We have figured out that it's a vicious cycle. When we eat a highly processed diet, we increase the oxidative stress in our system and increase the free radicals. As we increase the free radicals and the oxidative stress, we downregulate all the hormones that are responsible for metabolism. So thyroxine, testosterone, and growth hormone are all downregulated. Well, that causes more weight gain. As we gain more weight, then it leads to obesity. Obesity causes more oxidative stress, and we're not changing our diet, so we're still getting highly processed foods, so we downregulate the hormones more. And you can see where this goes. It just never stops. It is a huge vicious cycle that allows us to keep putting our weight on. So we all know about Protandim, the oxidative stress. We know that it's about 1 million times stronger than vitamin C, backed by 32 peer-reviewed studies. It has 7 patents. But what else can we activate? Well, what we can activate is GLP-1. GLP-1 has been used in regular medicine, in traditional medicine, for several years now. It started out as a diabetes drug, and as people were taking it for diabetes, they noticed they were losing some weight. Some doctors started using it off-label for weight loss, and the whole thing just took off. There is a pharmacy in Florida that is filling 50,000 prescriptions a day. So this is huge. And when I found out that the new product on that Saturday, the new product was going to be a GLP-1 activator, I realized how big this was. I realized that I had to be in this for 2 reasons. I think it's going to help a lot of people, and I think that financially, this is going to be a rocket ship. This is going to be something that is going to change the consultants in LifeVantage forever. So what is GLP-1? GLP-1 works on several organs. It starts out in the pancreas. So it works in the pancreas to secrete insulin. It works in the walls of the stomach to slow digestion. It works as the heart. In the heart, it's cardiac protective, which means it protects the heart muscle from damage, things like heart failure and heart attacks, because of a protective mechanism. It works on the brain by causing suppression of our feelings of hunger and increases satiety. And then it's neuroprotective. It protects the nerves, especially the peripheral nerves. We know that diabetes has a big impact on the peripheral nerves of the lower extremity. People get diabetic peripheral neuropathy. We know that it also causes damage to the nerves in the eye. People get retinopathy. And this drug is protective to the nervous system. So yes, it works to suppress appetite. It helps us lose weight. But there's a lot of protective mechanisms in the brain and the heart that do not get as much notoriety as the weight loss and the decreased hunger. So what is GLP-1? GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide. Glucagon is a peptide that is in the body that is the opposite of insulin. So when blood sugar goes up, insulin goes up. When the blood sugar starts dropping off, insulin goes down and glucagon goes up. So what glucagon-like peptide does is it binds at the binding site where glucagon typically would bind. And what that does is it turns off the effect of glucagon, which is to lower blood sugar and to increase hunger. So by doing that, it keeps the blood sugar circulating a little bit longer, which makes the body feel that it's nourished and it doesn't need to take in more food, and it downregulates the hunger mechanism. It also slows down the emptying of the stomach, so it makes you feel fuller longer. Now, it's interesting. If we look at the prescription drug, we inject it, it goes into the bloodstream, and then it circulates until it finds a receptor in one of those end organs. So it finds a receptor in the stomach, in the pancreas, in the heart, in the brain, and then it binds to a receptor site. So looking at the pharmacology of one of these drugs, and I think it's important at least to have a basic knowledge, because when you hear about how these drugs work and how, I get the question every day, well, I'm already on a prescription one, how do I come off and go on to your natural MindBody GLP-1 activator? So the prescription drugs have what's called a half-life. Half-life is the amount of time it takes for 50% of the drug to be metabolized. Well, the half-life of these drugs is about 7 days. And this, you'll see where this is important. But it lasts in your system for about 4 to 5 weeks. So that's all great, except that once it binds to the receptor site, it only sticks to the receptor site for about 2 minutes. And then it breaks apart and is metabolized by the kidneys and excreted. So it really works, even though it sticks around for about 7 days out to about 4 to 5 weeks, it only works for about 2 minutes. So that's a problem. That means that's why we're dosing it every 7, even though it's lasting every 4 to 5 weeks, we have to dose it every 7 days. Now, if we're taking building blocks to build our own GLP-1, now we have a constant steady supply. If we look at the results of the study, which I think are on the next slide, we were able to increase natural GLP-1 by 140%. And that was the average. I talked to some people that were in Club 55, and they had their GLP-1s increased by over 300%. So what we're doing now is, instead of having to take an exogenous injection, the body is making its own endogenous natural GLP-1 that is able to hook to those binding sites, hook for 2 minutes, break down, excreted, new ones are available to go in and take it, and it just keeps repeating over and over and over again. So it works a much natural way. So that's why this is going to be, I think, much more successful than the prescription drugs. The other problem with the prescription drugs is because we're adding a synthetic form of the hormone, the body stops making its own hormone. The body sees it and says, oh, wait, there's all this stuff that's here that's binding to these receptor sites. We don't need to manufacture GLP-1 anymore. It doesn't recognize it as being natural, so it just turns it off. And so it's going to actually decrease the body's regular, normal, endogenous GLP-1 because the exogenous drug is too high. So you can see where the natural is going to be much better. So what does it do? Why is it working? It's working on multiple areas. Like I said, there's receptor sites in the brain. The receptor sites in the brain are going to decrease that emotional eating. It's going to decrease that background food noise. Walking past the I was talking to my wife last night. I walked past the pantry, and it's like, typically I would have popped in, grabbed 2 Oreos, and went back to the couch. But I didn't feel that craving. I didn't feel the craving for sugar. I didn't feel the impulse to grab the cookies. So it's obvious that it works. I have been a big guy. I played football in college. I had a 2-year stint in the NFL before I went to med school. So I have always been big. One point I was big and in good shape. Now I'm just big. And I have probably lost the same 50 pounds 20 times in my life. I'd lose 50, I'd put 50 on. I'd lose 50, I'd put 50 on. And I'm hoping with this, that this is going to control that yo-yo dieting. It's going to give us the balance in our struggle with weight and weight loss. We should look at some of the numbers. So what are the numbers, both of the study that are on the slide, but also what are the numbers in general? The numbers show that depending on what state you're in, obesity is anywhere from 30 to 40%. That's clinical obesity according to the medical charts, 30 to 40% of Americans. But it even goes farther than that. If you ask Americans, are you concerned about your weight? 82% of Americans are concerned about their weight. So tell me, how many people do you know that can use this product? When I was talking to the 2 people at the top of my upline, both Tara and Rachel, and I said, I want to talk to my downline, the people that want to be successful. And I said, I have a list of 3,800 doctors that I can talk to this about. And I have a list of about 3,000 to 4,000 patients. So it's a little different for me than it is for everybody else. And I asked them, I said, what do I tell the people that are not doctors that want to build this? Or even the doctors that have never done multi-level marketing before? And they said, make a list of 250 people that you think could benefit from the product, either as a consultant because they need to make more money, they're having trouble making ends meet at the end of the week, or that they need, or customers that just need to lose 10, 20, 30, 50 pounds, and make that list of 250 names and call 10 a day. So go through the list in a month. And the average rate that people will say yes is between 15 and 20%. So that means you're going to sign up between 35 and 50 people. That's how this works. So I know this was mostly going to be medical, but I think that we need to understand, because the people on here are also going to want to talk to people about trying to make a little money. So this is the results of the study. 12-week clinical human study. Now, and that's important. This was a clinical human study. It's not a white paper. A lot of companies that are out there that have products are going to talk about, oh, well, we have a white paper that shows. Well, a white paper is a study that was essentially conducted in-house by the company to prove that their product works. And they're meaningless because a lot of these companies will fudge their data. But it was a clinical human study done by an outside source, and it showed 140% increase of the natural circulating GLP-1. The average weight loss was 9 pounds in 8 weeks, which is only about a pound a week, but then it increased to 25 pounds in 12 weeks, which is about 2 pounds a week. When we were doing the prescription GLP-1s in our practice, our goal was 2 to 3 pounds a week. If you go above 2 to 3 pounds a week, 2 things happen. Well, actually, 3 things happen with the prescription drugs. 2 things are symptoms. People's hair starts falling out, and they start having gallbladder problems, which ends up leading to gallbladder surgery and having their gallbladders removed. And that's just from rapid weight loss, both the hair loss and the gallbladder disease. The other things we saw were the side effects. So nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, esophageal reflux at night. So we do not want to push it to where people are losing probably more than 2 and maybe at the max 3 pounds a week. The other 2 things that we saw in the prescription drugs, and it leads to this next line, 100% of the people that were on the weight loss program did not lose muscle mass. We would see people that would come in and, yeah, they lost 50 pounds, but 25% of it was muscle. So they came into what we referred to as Ozempic bud. They lost the weight in their abdomen, they looked better, and if they turned around, they had no booty. So this prevents that. This is because it's natural, we're not seeing that muscle loss. It's important too, because that's something, people that are losing weight, they want to feel good about their body. So that was really important. The next one is probably the life-saving one. So this one is probably, out of all of these facts, I think the most important. And there was a 27% loss of visceral fat. So what is visceral fat? Visceral fat is the fat that is sitting around your internal organs. It's the fat around your liver. It's the fat around your heart. It's the fat around your intestines. It's the fat that makes you look thicker in the abdomen. Not that loose fat that you can kind of jiggle up and down in your belly, but this is that deep fat that makes you feel and look thicker. And that fat is associated with increased cardiac disease and increased stroke. So being able to lose more visceral fat is important. And so when I saw the number 27%, and this was still, I was sitting in the hall in Kansas City, and I pulled my phone out and I said, 27%, what does that mean when we look at the prescription drugs? And I was blown away. The average visceral fat loss on the prescription drug that starts with an O I need to make sure I stay compliant. But the prescription drug that starts with an O, the average visceral fat loss was between 4.5% and 7%. This is 4 times higher than what they were seeing on the prescription drugs. Mind-blowing. So, and then the 82% decrease in people's control, what they felt was their control over the relationship with food, and a 95% decrease in sugar cravings. So, I mean, very, very like amazing, amazing data on an actual clinical study. And then the last thing that I didn't put on this slide, but I think is important, is we are patent pending. They have gone through all the steps. I own 3 trademarks, so I know what the legal work and that it takes to get something past the government. So you have that little R signal, R sign at the end. But they were able to get patent pending. So this is going to be a great, great thing in the future. So what did some of these weight loss look like in the Club 55 study? You can see the picture on the left, significant loss in inches in the abdomen. Same thing, you know, the gentleman in the middle, most of you will notice, is one of our presidentials. Significant loss in his abdomen, just looking great. And then the same thing again in the last picture, looking at the way that his shirt fits and the amount of fat around his belly, significant in 3 weeks. 3 weeks down 14 pounds and 3 inches in his waist. Amazing in 3 weeks' time. So some great, great findings. If you want to follow me, I try to do a couple videos a week about something, either one of the activation products or something to do with GLP-1 or weight loss and how to prevent certain things. I do videos a couple times a week. So if you go on Facebook and find Get Activated with Dr. Jeff and put in a request to be part of the group, you'll have access to those videos, and they're all shareable. We just posted one a couple days ago about my whole theory on why you need Protandim first to get rid of the oxidative stress, and then add the GLP-1 in, or at least start them at the same time with that healthy weight bundle that's part of our package now. I did one on how to transition from prescription GLP-1s to MindBody GLP-1 activator. So if you want those videos, go ahead and just send in a request and I'll automatically get you signed up for that. And now I'll just go ahead and open it for questions. If anybody has any questions about the science, I would love to answer whatever you have.
Also, I just wanted to add before we do questions, so just seeing all of this and the slides and just knowing now the clinical trial results makes so much sense for me. I'm 49 and in perimenopause, and I swear if I gain a pound, it's in my midsection, and I have struggled. Now, granted, I've been through a lot of emotional stress in the last few years, losing my dad during COVID. And then also my husband and I bought a business, we moved homes, and it kind of took a toll. And I feel like I woke up one day, and I know it wasn't like this, don't get me wrong, because I stopped doing my working out and all the things that I'm used to with lifting weights. But I was up about 20 pounds. And when I started this, I had no expectations. I wasn't sure what to think, but I knew that by earning the Rise Retreat and bringing those products home, I had a gift in my hand that I needed to just make sure that I was committed to taking it every day and see what happened. And I'm sure you've seen my pictures out there. They're very profound, especially in my midsection, my stomach area. But beyond that, it's the other piece where I feel complete control over my thoughts, and not even just around food, but food as well. And I have no cravings, but just I'm able to sleep like so soundly, and I'm waking up refreshed. But also it's just the total control over my emotions. I can multitask. I feel like I have enough energy to run through a brick wall. I know a lot of people have just started this, and I've had team members that have been reaching out and saying, is this for real? Like, could I really feel it on day one? What are your thoughts on that? Because I felt it immediately, and I feel so unbelievably good. I literally want every single person in my entire network of people on this, whether or not they need to lose weight, because I think some people are of the thought, well, I don't have a lot of weight to lose. Why would I take this? You know?
Mhm. Yeah, no, you're right. I think that this is something that just for general health, I think that most of us, because of the diet we eat, because we're eating so much highly processed food, the oxidative stress. Can you get me another cough drop? The oxidative stress is really wreaking havoc on our body. So we are downregulating all of our hormones. That's what we see. So many women come into our practice that are having early menopause in their late 30s, early 40s. And, if you look back, and, I've looked back, especially once I started with LifeVantage, I looked back at what my life was like in the 70s. And I looked at the 70s and, people weren't having these issues. There wasn't a lot of obesity. I can't remember. I mean, did we have a couple weird kids in our class in high school? Yeah, but autism wasn't a thing. We didn't have men struggling with testosterone issues. At least if they did, they weren't talking about it. But all of these things are new to this century. And I think it all has to do with what we eat, the chemicals we're putting in our body, and the oxidative stress. And if we know that the oxidative stress is downregulating our metabolism hormones, and they're probably downregulating GLP-1 naturally as well. So I think that adding this in as part of just a daily health regime, I mean, I think it makes sense, but even if we think about it, 82% of the population is worried about their weight. So, it's like, I think my dad used to say, it's like shooting fish in a bucket. It's everyone we talk to has an issue. And so I think that it's something that's going to be beneficial. I saw some questions pop up at the bottom. Get activated with Dr. Jeff is the Facebook group. If you have a specific medical question, put it on there. It does two things. One is it protects me from corporate for answering questions that are not part of this. And it also probably protects me medical legally from putting statements out over the internet. So if you have a specific question about a family, friend, yourself, go ahead and just put them there. But I'm willing to answer some questions. I think we're going to turn off the recording here if we get some.
Yes, and I just had one more. A lot of people wanted to know, I've been asked, what do you, so I've always said the equivalent of this as far as the safety goes, it's in the realm of putting whole food in your body. This is nutrition. We're not a synthetic, right. We're not a drug.
No, it's if you can eat, you can take this product.
Right.
For the most part.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I appreciate this. I'm going to go ahead and stop this, and then we can go ahead and open up for questions.